Welcome back to my next playthrough series. This time we're back to Aeons and War Eternal, and we're taking on Umbra Titan. We're going to take a look at him in a second. We've got our turn order cards out here. We've played this game a lot on my channel, so I'm not going to go through how to play or the rules. Our Umbra Titan's at 70 health and Gravehold at 35. Let's take a closer look at Umbra Titan, and we're going to take a look at our two new Breach Mages that we're going to be playing. I haven't played them before, and the 9 cards that we can purchase throughout the game. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so here we have Umbra Titan. He's got 70 health, his Unleash. The backside of this card is the setup, and the setup is getting 8 of these. Well, I put these fish tank crystals on. They're supposed to be little tokens, but I'm using 8 of them. It says the Unleash is if there's any Nemesis turn order card, or if there's 1 in the turn order card, discard pile, any player suffers 2 damage. If there are 2 Nemesis cards, discard pile, Gravehold suffers 2 damage. So that's not good for unleashing. Or you can choose Umbra Titan loses 1 Nemesis token. Additional rules: when Umbra Titan has 0 Nemesis tokens, Gravehold's foundation is undermined, Gravehold collapses into rubble, and the players lose. Speaking of our players, let's take a look at our 2 Breach Mages. Alright, our Breach Mage on the left, player 1, her special card is called Extinguish. I'm going to take a look at that quickly. Cast, deal 1 damage. If the damage causes a minion from the Nemesis deck to be discarded, Quilius gains a trophy token. Well, what does that mean? Well, if we take a look down here on getting charges, activate during your main phase. Deal 2 damage for each trophy token you have. So the more tokens we collect will be the more damage we can do when we have all of our charges. Of course, we start with 10 health. And our starting hand is an Extinguish, 3 crystals, and a spark. And she's got 2 open breaches and a couple in 3 and 4 in those configurations. Alright, over we go to our next character. And our next character here is called Gex, and she has the Shattered Geode as her special card. Starter card, gain 1 ether. You may place the top card of any ally's discard pile into your hand. So there's that, and then of course she has 3 crystals and a spark in her starting hand. There's her portrait, of course. I probably should have shown you the other one. And her, when she gets all her charges activated during main phase, destroy up to 2 cards in your discard pile that cost 0, and any ally draws 1 card and gains 2 life. So, like that, 10 health. She doesn't have a Breach 1 at all. Breach 2 is open. 3 and 4 are in those configurations. Alright, let's take a look at the cards that we're going to be able to purchase. We have 3 crystals, 2 relics, and 4 spells. And yes, I'm going through this pretty quickly because, like I said, we've played this many times before. So starting at a cost of 3 ether, we have the Vodimian Spike, gain 2 ether. Each ally may discard a card in hand. Each ally that does gains a charge. Okay, so that's our first crystal. The next one is also 3. I think we've had this one before, Leeching Agate. When you gain this, gain a charge, and as ever after that is worth 2 ether. Then we have a 5 crystal, the Muted Lacocyte. When you gain this, silence a minion and then you will gain 3 ether. So cool. When you gain the card, you silence a minion, but then thereafter it's worth 3. And then for our first relic, we have the Riddle Sphere. Gain 1 charge, or you may lose 2 charges if you do gain 5 ether. So I like that one. It's kind of cool. And then we have Vim Dynamo, costing 4. Of course, this one was costing 3. Suffer 1 damage. Any player draws 2 cards, or destroy this. Any player gains 2 life and a charge. So we have some gaining life cards, which I like. Into the spells. First one, very cheap, Nerve Jab. Deal 1 damage, silence a minion. Like it. Okay, and this one here, Phoenix Flame. Cast. Deal 2 damage. You may lose 1 charge to deal 2 additional damage. So I think some synergies going on with our cards, I think. And then we have Dark Fire, costing 5. Cast. Discard up to 2 cards in hand. Deal 3 damage for each card discarded this way. Like that as well. And finally, this came from the Burning something or other expansion. The card deck you could buy. Costing 8, Psychic Eruption. Cast, deal damage equal to the number of cards in any player's discard pile. Youch. That can do a lot of damage, but it costs you 8 ether. Well, those are the cards we can buy. And you know what? I'm going to readjust camera. We're going to shuffle up our turn order deck, and we're just going to get into a round. Okay, so we're going to pick up the turn order deck, and of course in the turn order deck you get 2 player 1s, 2 player 2s, and 2 Nemesis. So we're just going to give that a shuffle, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see who's going when and where, and it's random turn order. So I do like that about the game. It makes it a little interesting. You never know quite who is coming up when. You can get hammered by the Nemesis twice in a row, which is always delightful. And yeah, so let's figure out, okay, that shuffle I think enough. Boom! Let's figure out who the first player is. It the Umbra Titan or is it us? It's player 1, and player 1 is Quilius. So let's go down to her area right here and let her have a first turn. Alright, well here we have her, and of course we just quickly looked at it. So Extinguish, it's a spell, so we may as well go ahead and prep Extinguish to open breach 1. And now she's got 3 crystals to spend for 3 ether, and a spark. We will prep the spark into breach 2. So she has 3 ether to spend. And with 3 ether to spend, oh dear, I think I'm going to go ahead and she's going to get the Leeching Agate. I'm going to start off with some gems. When you gain this, gain a charge. So she gets a charge. Alright, and then when it comes up next, you get 2 ether. So that's going to go to, of course, to a discard. Discard your cards in any order. Well, they're all the same, so they'll get discarded this way. And she's going to drop 5 new cards for her new hand, which, of course, was what was showing here. 3 crystals, another Extinguish, and another spark. So very much the same as what she just had. Alright, back to turn order. Let's see who's up next. Alright, turn order time. Oops, and we have player 1. Wow, okay, player 1 twice in a row. So we get the Quilius going once again. Alright, looks like we're going to be drawing first blood. So we have an Extinguish spell. Deal a damage. If damage causes a minion, it doesn't. So we're just going to deal a damage. And that's going to go to our Nemesis. And we're also going to fire off the spark, which will then damage the Nemesis. So Nemesis all of a sudden from 70 health right down to the measly 68. We've got a while to go yet. Okay, and what do we have? Well, we have exactly the same thing. So we're going to put the Extinguish in 2, we're going to put the spark in 3, and I wonder if we should go ahead and get another, or should we focus, we can focus breach 3. Oh dear, do we want to focus breach 3 to try and get it open later? Do we want to buy something? I think we are going to spend the 3 ether, and we're going to focus breach 3. You can see here it says 3 to focus, and by focusing it, we are going to spin it 1 clockwise. So we can open it for 7. I don't know if that was a good idea, but you'll see. And that's how that works. And so we flip her deck over. We don't shuffle anything. And we're going to pick up 5 new cards right off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see what they are. So what she gets for her next hand will be in the next episode. She gets the Leeching Agate, which is going to be 2 ether, 3, 4. She's going to have 5 ether, and an Extinguish spell. That's going to be the end of her for this episode. Let's go back to turn order. Alright, turn order time, and who do we have this time? Well, the Nemesis goes, of course. So, how do we do the Nemesis? Well, the Nemesis would, if there's any, of course, text on their card, there isn't. If there's any cards out here they activate first, there's none. So, we do need to draw a Nemesis card. And what do we have? We have Night Unending. It's a power 3. Gravehold suffers 2 damage for each spell prepped by the player with the most prepped spells. Okay, well that's going to trigger after 3 times. So we're going to put a 3 on there. So every time the Nemesis goes from now on, that's going to knock down 1 until it goes to 0. If it goes to 0, it's going to trigger. And there's no way we can get rid of it. So I guess we're going to have to do some careful planning. Alright, up next is turn order. And who's it going to be? It is going to be player 2. Alright, so player 2 gets to go. Let's go over to Gex and see what she's going to do. Alright, it's Gex's turn, and she has this one, gain an ether. You may place the top card of any ally's discard pile into your hand. Well, nobody has a discard pile. Quilius does not, so we're not going to be able to do that. So she's going to have a spark, so she may as well go ahead and place the spark there. And then that's going to give her 1, 2, 3. She's got 4 ether, and with 4 ether, yeah... 4 ether. What do we want for 4 ether? Oh boy, I gotta think about this. I think we need to get gems. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna go ahead and also get the Leeching Agate for her. It costs 3 only. When you gain this, gain a charge and gain 2 ether when it's played. So she's gonna go ahead and gain a charge. We'll do that. And she can put her cards back into the order. So put them back like this. And she's going to get her next hand, which is going to be a spark. and 4 crystals. Alright, that's it. Back to turn order. Alright, turn order time. And who do we have now? We have the Nemesis going again. Alright, what I like to do is put the Nemesis card on the Nemesis so I don't forget, because sometimes I have forgotten in the past. So we have to look at the cards first. The first one we have out here is Night Unending. It's going to lose a charge. It's going to go down to 2 charges. Ooh boy, alright. And now we look at the Nemesis card. What else do we have? Oh, we have a minion coming out. Great, a Cryptid. It's persistent, 6 health. The player with the most expensive prep spell discards that spell, or Umbra Titan loses a Nemesis token. Oh man. Okay, and it's got 6 health, so it's going to go ahead and put a little die on there for 6, so I track their health. It's a lot easier for me to do. Alright, and of course, up last for episode today will be Player 2, because, yeah, it's the last card in the turn order deck for this round. Over we go back to Gex. Alright, so we have a decision to make. We have a Spark spell. Do we hit that minion? Do we hit the minion, or do we go ahead and beat on? You know, I think with the Spark spell, we're going to fire that off. We are going to hit the minion. Minion's going to go from 6 health down to 5. We want to ultimately get Quilius here taking that minion out, do the death blow on it, because that gives her one of the little power tokens for her special charges. Alright, let's see what else we have in hand. Well, we only have 1 Spark spell, so boom, we're going to do that. We have 3 to focus, 4 to focus, yeah, 4. We have 4 ether. Do we want to go ahead and get another leeching agate? I wonder, or do we want to get something else this time? I think we're going to go ahead for 4 ether this time. We're going to go ahead and purchase the Vim Dynamo for her, costing 4 effort. More damage, any player draws 2 cards, or you can destroy this and any player gains 2 life and a charge. Kind of like that, being able to get life back if we start getting beat on. Alright, and that's going to be it for cards back in any order as my voice goes, excuse me. Deck is just flipped over, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be her hand for the next episode. She's got 3 crystals, she's got her Shattered Geode, and a Leeching Agate. So she's going to have 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll have 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, she'll have 6 ether for her next hand. I guess we'll put that one on top. 6 ether when we come back. Alright, we're going to end off our episode for today. That was the introduction to Aeons and War Eternal. We're playing against the Umbra Titan. Alright, well, we got a minion out there. We've got Night Unending, and we have we have a charge each on our characters, and things are, of course, they always ramp up until we never know who's going to win. Well, we got 2 damage on the Umbra Titan, so he's down to 68. Yeah. And Gravehold still nice and healthy at 35. Alright, we'll reshuffle these, of course, at the beginning of next episode. So, thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Aeons End, War Eternal, or just Aeons End, I guess. I think the Umbra Titan might be from War Eternal. It might be from one of the expansions. I have no idea. I put everything together, and I've lost track of it all. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time for the continuation in Aeons End against the Umbra Titan.